Let's see if we're live. Come on, kids. It says preparing. Here we go. So our meeting. And hello, everybody. Welcome and goodbye. We'll see you next time, though. Welcome to GH Mini Spotlight. I almost said GH Report. Little slip of the tongue. Frank knows why. Hi, I'm James Lott Jr. I am. And that's Frank Moran.
Hey, everybody.
We are here to talk about the week that was in Port Charles. GLJ Media. Today is Soap Sunday. I'm going to do my church announcements first before we get started. And firstly, is that a word? Yeah, firstly is a word. We had the Wide Army Spotlight at a special time. Amanda Russ and Tammy Govea, and Tammy Govea talked about Young and the Restless and to mixed results. So, we loved it. But we watched that. We had a good time. That's out now, audio and video. I kind of made myself laugh on that one. And then after this, my chocolate twin, Tony Moore, will be on talking about the days of our lives. Now, they're not live. It's a pre-recorded episode, but the chat will be live. So make sure you go there, watch. The chat will be happening like it always is. I might say hello on it for a second. But there's a new episode that we recorded yesterday. So go ahead and check that out to help like the page, the whole shebang, shaboom. Make sure you watch that. This week, just so you know, my interview with Michelle Stafford, the 30 Years of Phyllis from Y&R, will be out later this week. She has a standalone episode, Frank. She has a standalone episode coming up this week. As soon as I found the day of the standalone episode, then I'll release the video. I have to wait. I have to wait till then.
Oh, nice.
We had a great interview, and we talked about almost 10 years knowing each other. And Frank was there. We talked about her times with us in the studio at FBS.
Look at that. I mean, what is it? Hour, 2 hour, 3 hour retrospective with Michelle?
There's nothing like that's not that. It's not a 5 hour extravaganza. No, it's not that. It's live from the set. She looks beautiful. She said she was philicized. She's very beautiful in this picture. And it's I think it's a half hour. A half hour. I think we did 30 minutes for 30 years, something like that. But
Ooh.
it's very cool. That'll be out later.
Wow. Quickly, a minute each year. That's what we have to talk about. There you go.
Yes, exactly.
Year one, 60 seconds, go.
Go. Exactly. We had a good time. But I'll be out. But again, I have to just wait till I find out when it's that other thing is airing. Then I'll put that out. So I have something new for you guys to watch. That's coming out this week. Also, we have the Monsters after show. We also have the Aaron Hernandez after show. Both of those audio, and they're doing so well for us. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching, all you Nicholas Chavez fans who are listening to our podcast. We're very happy about that. You can find them on any podcast platform. We have them everywhere. That is the Monsters After Show. That's for the Lyle Menendez and Eric Menendez story. And the Aaron Hernandez story for American Sports Story on Hulu and FX. So check those out. They're huge hits. You're not watching either. You're not watching any of them, are you? You're not watching Grotesquerie or any of that stuff? No?
I haven't watched any of that. I haven't gotten, really into the Ryan Murphy stuff, but I did on Twitter, they'll throw out clips from the Aaron Hernandez story and just seeing the actors playing like Gronk and Belichick.
They really have that one. Belichick, they've made into a huge character. And then, little side note, folks, in real life, they posted this picture where it's like Bill Belichick said his life has changed since he got his 24-year-old girlfriend.
Oh, yes. I saw that.
Like 700 years old. And he's like blubber. Everyone's like, wow. But they're really, in this series, Frank, they're really making Bill like a major character. I mean, he is a major character. He was very important to the rise of the team and all that. Yes. We have a Tom Brady. We have Gronk. It's fun to see who they cast. And a lot of them are unknown actors, like they're not anybody big actors. So Patrick Schwarzenegger did play Tim Tebow.
Oh, nice. The guy. I only saw one clip with the guy playing Gronk, but he channeled. Didn't have the
tried.
But he channeled.
He tried. I like Gronk, but the actor was trying.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're on episode 6 coming out. It comes out every Wednesday, episode 6 of Aaron Hernandez. But it's a huge hit on my network, so thank you. You guys are watching it. I did do an episode of Dr. Odyssey, another
Oh,
Ryan Murphy. The Love Boat meets ER or something. I don't know what it is, but it was very interesting. So thanks for the guy. You guys are all commenting on it. Thank you for comments. I haven't watched it since. I just watched one episode, Frank.
oh, well, it's got your boy Don Johnson. So,
I love him. I do love him. And I will say, Jonathan Jackson looks good. So it's good. I guarantee it looks good, but it's cheese in it. I don't mind Aaron spelling cheese. Ryan Murphy cheese, I'm okay with.
I mean, I've heard speculation about what the real deal is on that show. So the idea sounds interesting. I don't know if I think I've actually recorded episodes, but I've yet to take the plunge.
It's not anything that you need to really worry about.
Oh,
Watch anytime.
oh.
Um,
I want to be part of the water cooler talk, James.
there's no water coolers left. And side note, I watched Twisters last night, and I was bored shitless.
No,
Uh,
is that
I know it
streaming
was a
now?
huge hit.
I do want to check that
Yeah,
out. All
I
right.
heard it was a huge hit. I don't get it.
No,
The first Twister was my. I love that first Twister. That was my movie. That was my movie.
but James,
Not
now
the
there are
Odyssey.
multiple tornadoes.
I know. Yeah, apparently, yes. Not Josh's shows growing up. I mean, like, that's got. No, the premise. I get it. It's a safe premise. Um, but I was a Nip Tuck fan. That was my Ryan Murphy. I was a total Nip Tuck. That was my show. What do you tell me what you don't like about yourself? That's how you open every episode. Tell me what you don't like about yourself. I love that. That was like my thing. Anyways, okay, so okay, we have all that. That's all going on. So like, we won't be able to tell Frank. We won't be here next week.
What?
I know.
But I had
Frank
these
storms,
plans.
Frank storms off. He's like, "That's it. I'm done. 9 years. I got my award." It's no, it's my daughter's birthday, so I'll be here. But the fall way back to 27th. Way back to 27th. Like,
Okay. Okay, I'll just hold off till then. Okay.
hold on till then. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, let's get started because I have 145 minutes. All right, hi everybody. Hi Sabrina. Hi Rodelli. Hi Tracy. AE. Beauty for Ashes. Rebecca. John. Nathan. Joe. Everybody's here. I love it. Come on in, Devin. I see you, Devin, and of course Annie's YouTube channel. You guys are here. Hit the like button while you're here. Okay. Frank is upset. They're all laughing at you. So here's the deal. I'm going to open this up, Frank, with just a general statement.
Ooh, all right.
My general statement is no. I actually am enjoying the show. I've seen people have comments, whatever. That's fine. Everybody has their thing. I think the show to me is more watchable than it's been in years. So I'm going to start off with that. And Terrence Matthew gives us our first super chat, our $1.99 super chat. Tell her I said happy birthday. Okay. So I'm going to say that, Frank. I don't know how you're feeling right now because we have talked about there's a new writing regime and they're kind of getting settled in. So I was curious, what are your thoughts on what's going on in general?
In general, I mean, I guess I'm feeling better. I mean, better than the days of old where we complained about the pacing and all that stuff. Uh, but I also feel like, and maybe, because we're seeing it's the new regime, but it's made up of past people as well
Yeah.
in a different combination, that like we're hitting like story points or little beats in a story a little too repetitive. Like we got this already. You can go. Like, for example, I don't need to hear uh somebody telling Christina like we know this. We all know this. Everybody, right? Like Christina's, just not great at this. Great. Okay. Can we just keep moving? Can we keep moving? Because where it's just scenes where it's just like, well, Christina, no, don't get involved. Like, oh, all right. Okay. All right. So, but otherwise, I would tend to side more towards you. I'm enjoying it. I worry that we're getting to the point where we're getting repetitive beats on some stuff. I'm hoping that is not leading us to more slowing down of storylines.
All right. Yeah, the pacing. Well, I said pacing is better. I will say that it's a lot. I mean, things are happening. I mean, they are going forward. GH is must see TV. I'm enjoying GH Sue Me. Like, no, we're enjoying it. It's just I get what he's saying and some stuff. I get um Diane reading Jason about putting Sonny and Carter's kid before his kids. Loved it. We'll talk about that. Well, we'll get to a storyline that I'm gonna get to a set of scenes that I really enjoyed this week. I kind of want to do it that way. Just a little something different. Frank and I have been doing this for 100 years. We'll do a little different, this Frank. A little different.
Oh, go ahead, James. Oh, let it out. Tell us.
Exactly. A little different. You know, I'm like, whatever. Yes, well, Deli, I'm gonna start with that actually. I have to say, Frank, because it was funny because they did the whole thing where um Lucky turns around and sees his mom on Thursday. I think it was Thursday, whatever. But then they did it differently on Friday when they opened, which is fine. That's an old thing they used to do it for. Where he's Lucky and he looks at her. But I have to say, once I saw them together, it was magic. I'm sorry. It just their whole conversation was magic. I know part of it was nostalgia. I fully walk into that. Part of that was nostalgia. It was like, wow, like the original Lucky is with Jeannie France. Like they're together, and I don't care what they say. Jeannie, when she starts to cry, oh my gosh, she's so good. And Jonathan Jackson was not over the top. He wasn't. He wasn't. It was like it was just this kind of just regular perform. Like he was just they were just acting. It was like these two were just acting, and it felt so good. And when Jeannie said, "If this doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, will you stay?" I was like, wow. So I just want to start with that. We were saying how they loved it too, and I saw a lot of folks in the chat out there love those scenes too. It was just kind of like we were waiting for that because like, where the f is Laura? She was on vacation, folks. Jeannie Francis was nice and tan, her hair was all cute. She was busy, but for her, but to me, it was worth wait. So I don't know, Frank. I don't know what do you think about those scenes?
I mean, how could you not want be excited to see Jeannie Francis and Jonathan Jackson sharing a scene together? I mean, that's great. And yeah, I mean, at the end, it's just heartbreaking where she breaks down. And great performances by both of those. Me being just like the quibblesome guy, just we had already had scenes with Aiden and Lucky where he was talking about the trip, the Lucky D, the triple L restaurant.
Yeah, I was like,
Get,
no,
getting
like,
my guy
okay, go
getting
on.
my Guy Fieri.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know. I was like, okay, yes.
Yeah. So it was like we already know that, and then why do we have to write it as Laura going like, I don't know if you remember the triple L diner. Like we already know. He told his son, Laura, we're good. I mean, still always great to be able to see a flashback back to the triple L, the big explosion outside.
Yeah.
Great stuff as well when they first came back onto the show. So yeah, so it's just some minor quibbles in some of the writing choices for that stuff, but. And Lucky, I don't know. Great to have him back on the show, for sure. But yeah, the I don't know. I'm curious, as usual. It's like we need Lucky's not the guy, so we spent all this time to get him back to Port Charles, and then, as typical with GH, like nope. Just like with Willow and all her stuff too. Just like when you think you have a cure, nope, it's the worst outcome, and we have to keep going. And how is this going to happen? So we'll see whether it's Sam, whether Valentine and Charlotte come back at the last second. Maybe it's Charlotte. I don't know.
Well, they already said Ethan was not a match. I was
Yeah.
glad they mentioned it. Like they decided up to cast the actor. So he said Holly got to Ethan, he was not a match. So they said all the brothers were not a match. But Lucky is a match, but he fucked himself up, apparently, while being getting parasites and stuff.
Yeah,
So
it's
I thought
yeah, getting this parasites. You know how that is, James.
I do. It's just worms. Um, but for me, I thought that actually is an interesting choice because, like you said, we were looking for him, looking for him, get back, and then he's not it. I guess for drama reasons, it's a great turn. I guess it's a great turn because now what? Now what does Lucky do? When that's kind of like what his talk with Jason I thought was pretty good, and
Yeah.
Jason was like kind of giving him pieces of advice. Like, Jason's giving advice. He's just kind of like, you sure you want to do this? You want to leave? You sure you want to do that?
It was interesting that he w wanted to leave, where he had sat there and said like, well, for when he finds out he's not the match and he wants to just bug out of town, but it's like in a world where Lulu may not get any other help, there's no other donor available, so he just wants to be gone when she dies. That just seemed weird to me. That when he was that he would want to make that about face. Yes, he's got that Spencer trait of wanting to just when you need your space, you need to go, you need to get out. But to build this all up and have him have these scenes with bedridden Lulu, comatose Lulu, about how much he loves her, and then be like, well, you're not a match lucky, then I'm gone and I'm out. Like, you would not be here for your own sister if things don't go well. But then I guess we get that nice scene with Laura, so he will be sticking around, everybody.
Yes. No, you said something in the beginning, Frank, that's what I went with when you said at the beginning. He's a Spencer. They have a tendency to overreact. They all do, and run. That's what they do. It leads to the whole thing of him trashing bodies. That whole scene. It seemed like a little ridiculous, but at some level, like that's what Spencers do. Spencers are they act out. They act out of these act. The Spencers actually are emotional. When you think about it. They seem like these tough and rumble, but they're emotional on some level. And Josh went off on him. I thought it was kind of hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was kind of funny when she went off on him. Uh, why not? But it's just like he's family. I mean, it's kind of like family does things that because you said something last week. Frank said something last week that I actually cut it out for a thing. I was like, we want to see characters act badly. That's just part of drama. I mean, it's just like if they all act correctly all the time, that's not drama. You're supposed to get mad at characters when they do certain things. That's kind of part of the thing. So yes, we should be mad at Lucky going over there and being overreacting and tell my he's about just to leave. He's like, get out, get
Yeah.
out. I laughed. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, politely, he did let everybody know that, my
I'm Lucky
family owns
Spencer.
the restaurant. Yeah. So I'm going to say this nicely, and then I'm going to start yelling at you to get the heck out of this restaurant.
I was laughing. I was like, I'm Lucky Spencer. Like, he did a whole announcement at the restaurant. Love you guys, but get the fuck out. It was hilarious. Oh my god, it was hilarious. I just thought it was. I thought it was just hilarious. Oh my god. And we had to see Josh with Lucky. Like we don't really. It's like we're there. To me, they're showing us the Spencer family and all the different combinations, which I
Yeah.
really appreciate. Really
No, that was
appreciate.
that was nice. Seeing them together. I mean, seeing Carly with yeah, it's nice because more often than not because Carly was so much of the Sunny Jason, uh,
Yes.
maybe even AJ and a little bit of the Quartermain stuff that it really took those scenes with like Luke to always kind of make you remember like, oh yeah, 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 Caroline, yes, you are Spencer. So it is nice this go around where we're really getting her involved in this since we don't have Bobby anymore either.
But no, and that's been so I did an episode of JSRADs because everybody was like, who's the matriarch of the Spencers? They don't want it to be Carly, of course, but Carly's a natural choice. I'm sorry, she's a natural choice. And she did have relationships with all the different Spencers, but now they're shoring it up. I think that's just why not? They're shoring it up now, and she's a natural choice. But I know some folks think she's more of Corinthos and all that, but she's not really. She changed her name to Spencer. That's what the writers wrote.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, there you go. That's what they wrote. I said, I'm not writing the show. I'm following what they're writing. Uh, but I thought, the show is trying to. I feel like the show is trying to show us something almost classic. Some people saying in the chat, very classic GH, where things get broken and stuff gets shoved, and we don't see that. We don't see that stuff anymore. It's like it's over the top, but like that's soap opera. I mean, I have no problem with that actually.
Yeah, no, I mean, great to watch. Horrible, for Jocelyn. That to go in and just clean it all up. What a
And I
fun,
brought her in. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, what a fun deal. You just come in and then you just gotta. It's just a mess, Lucky. Come on.
But they brought us to see it all. But see, it all led to Dex, who's a beat cop now, coming through, and Molly stopping through. So I think there's our threesome right there. I feel like they're chem testing. It's all right there, Frank.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing bringing Molly in. I was not expecting that. And when she just
No,
comes traipsing in, I'm like, all right, okay. Well, clearly, we're trying to lay the groundwork for something.
something. I agree. And I thought, okay, so it led. So I mean, it all leads to something. Whether you like the scene or not, it leads to something else. I mean, to me, it led to that.
Yeah. Well, and then plus we got our, his training officer, give him a little time to shine. He got his 5 lines
Yes,
in, which is nice.
yes, he did. As big old black man. That's right. Get the little lines. That's right. There you go. I'm like, there you go. So I love it. But yeah, but like everything leads to something. So that lucky scene with for some people who didn't like it, it led to Dex coming through, her not telling on her family, her did her little monologue how she feels bad on some level with Lucky because he's trying to save his sister and it's family. There's wrong things happen all the time. I mean, and people, it's just that's how life is.
I just
But I like it. They're remembering relationships. Go ahead.
when's Lucky gonna like bathe?
Yeah, I know. After all that, I was like, hello, come on, folks, time to take a shower. Time to wash your stringy hair. I think it's time. It's time. I agree with that. That's a good bit with that. But also, speaking of Spencer's, we got Lucas. Now, remember, folks, Lucas and Lucky are named the same. That's why I titled this episode. They're both named Luke. They're Lucas Lorenzo. Wait, Lucas Lorenzo Jones, Lucas Lorenzo Spencer Jr. To me, Van Hansen's fits right in. I don't know how you feel, but I'm just like, he fits right in.
It is a I don't know. It's a bit of a tonal shift for Lucas from the way Ryan Carnes played it,
Yeah.
but not necessarily that bad. And if which it seems to be this go around, just from the brief time that he's been on, they're really trying to get him involved with a variety of different people. And I just feel which I hope bodes well, which means we could actually see more screen time for him. Uh,
Yes.
because I felt like, Ryan Carnes often just got relegated to just like, oh, it's a Brad scene, and maybe an occasionally a Julian scene or a Carly scene. Uh, but that was it. So we saw him so infrequently at times too. So great. Give me a Maxi scene, give me an Ava scene. Great. Let's mix them up. Let's get him mixing around with everybody on the canvas.
So, folks, Ryan Carnes did not want a contract. So that's why he cast the role. People get upset. That's why he cast the role. And yes, they are bringing back Stephen Lars.
Yeah, I
It's
saw
coming.
that too. Couldn't believe it.
I'm like, okay. I'm in. I did not expect that either. I'm in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But back to, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no,
On that.
but Lucas, I just feel like there's the way this actor is portrayed, there's a little bit more of a lightness to him than
Yes.
Ryan Carnes had.
Yes. I agree. And so they did the smart thing. They brought him off with Carly first. That's his sister. Unfortunately, there's no Sam. That's what's so sad because they were close, they're brother and sister, they're Julian, but we don't see that. Then we had him go. He basically like Lucky talked to everybody else in the world before he went to his son. And we'll get to that. I'll get to that scene. I'm gonna get to that scene a little later. So Luke, I'll get to that scene. I'll get to that scene a little later. But Lucas, to me, it was like a natural. He went did this, but then he saw Wiley very fast. I did not expect that very quick. Like I'm saying, pacing is much better. They're just like, let's just get this out in the open now. And he told Wiley, kind of. I
Yeah,
was like, I did not expect that.
yeah.
Not expect that. He didn't
No,
care, but
yeah, yeah. That's true. It's like, great. Can we go to the boat now?
yeah, I
Okay.
was like, okay. They're like, okay.
Which I guess is true to some kids. Like, you just tell them what you think is some big thing, and they're like, okay, great. Can we go back and do this thing that I really want to do?
Yeah. But they did it fast. They already had it where he had to face the fact. Also, he went to Brad already, so he already did that. But he saw Wiley, that whole situation, went to visit his mother's grave, and Maxie, they're cousins. And it's great. There's that going on.
I
So
want her to have a
there's
better hairstyle though. His hairstyle is not lighting the world on fire for me.
no, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I was so just like he's fitting in so far. So I was
Yeah.
just really shy. I know he's a good actor, but I was just curious. He's played gay before, obviously. And he's gay in real life, but I was just like, I don't. I'm like, but I was just more expect. I was just like, wow, they're really getting him around. And when he got to Ava, I was like, wow, they really went there fast too. I thought it was one of those quick as Carly was. They wise got rid of Carly because she was getting on my nerves, and I was like, just go away, Carly. Let them deal with this. At first, as the world turns, people, as Luther said, it was a nice reunion of Mara and Van. So we got a little piece of our as the world turns stuff. But I love that there's scene. It was a whole mixture. It was a whole gamut of stuff. It wasn't cutesy cutesy, yet it was kind of cutesy cutesy, and they really went into the history of Julian was a screw up. He was a screw up. He was a screw up. He couldn't help himself. And they mentioned Alexis, and that they went through the whole thing. I was so shocked that we're getting these scenes.
Yeah. And even talking about her releasing the audio uh,
Yeah,
of Natalia as well. Like, why would you do that to Blaze? Yeah, so I'm glad that we had because I mean, yeah, I mean, Ava for her to justify her, I don't know, that's great. Well, I Sunny, but I did like that. It's like, oh, don't use Sunny as like some, a moral arbiter here, right there,
and she's all. You're right. She's all. You're right. I just thought so on the 11th, October 11th is National Coming Out Day. So thank you to all the allies, everybody who's supports those of us who are out. So I thought it was kind of funny some of these scenes that came up last week were gay related. I love that Ava said, I've been in the art world. Of course I support it. And I believe her, she supports gay. I believe she supports, queer characters, whatever. But it was a very Ava move because she was doing it for her. It had nothing to do with that. Like you
yeah,
said, I was trying to get homegirl against Sunny. She wasn't even thinking about she didn't want to out anybody. She totally agreed. So I agree. I actually believe her that wasn't a thought of hers. And when he said, "You're just like Julie. You think before you act. You act before you think." That's what Jerome's do sometimes. That's what they do. That's what
yeah.
they do.
No, I mean, I liked it, and just an honest thing where it's it's like where Lucas tells her like, let's be honest, neither of us have reached out to the other. It's like that's how it is with family. Yes, sometimes you're close, and then other times, nobody's reaching out to each other, and years go by. So
But my thing is, because when he mentioned that story, I'm with Luther in this one. Natalia is not the hero of that story. I mean, she's not. I mean, it's just and her on the canvas right now is so bizarre because she's not tied to anybody really in a way. We haven't really finished that story. So it's like her and Sunny, like, well, you want to date me, or I should be with you. I feel comfortable with you. Like, I I don't root for them. I'm not rooting for them. So it's like it's weird. It's like,
I, are you in the overall? Does this interest you? The soapy conundrum that they've placed Carly and Sunny in, where they're both interested in other people, but I have to, for Christina's sake, pretend to be interested in each other. Does that
well, yeah, I
interest
don't
you
mind.
at all?
No, the John Brennan Carly, yes, I am in. They have chemistry up and down the street, around the corner, the whole out the window, whatever. They got chemistry. I am there with that. I don't care about Sunny and Natalia. And I know Eva, I love her, great person and all that. She's a great actress. I think they need to shore up that storyline. They need to bring Blaze back or do something or just do something to finish up that weirdness that's just kind of sitting out there. She's a
Yeah.
homophobe. So she's sitting out there. I'm like, I don't see the redemption yet. I don't see the redemption. So I have a hard time wanting Sunny with a homophobe. Like I just don't. It does. I mean, I don't care if she's great at her job. Okay, I know all folks are great at their jobs. They're horrible people in real life. I'm like, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I need to see something with her with that storyline, so that it's either or if she's staying a homophobe, let's still see that. I want to see if she's like, I'm a strict Latina Catholic woman. I want to see that too. But then if she is, then she should be fighting against Sonny what he's doing and what his other life is. She should be against that on some level. But I don't see any push. I don't. I'm not. I need to see more. I need to see more push and pull. I
Uh,
think.
I mean, James, for me, I mean, she came in and gave him a coffee machine. I mean, that right there,
He did. And
that
fixed
erases all past sins. That coffee
I guess
machine.
so, right? I guess so, right? I'm like, I just, I mean, I just don't, I'm not, but John Brennan and Carly, yes, I'm all in with that. I love them together. And I also love that, that even Anna's like, I like you, Carly. Like, I think she does. They had nothing against each other. They have nothing against each other. And it was like, I'm trying to, when she was like, you want to change your statement? See, I'm fascinated by this whole thing that Sonny wants to tell. Christina's on edge and she's all over the place. Michael's trying to stop her. Alexis over here with Martin. The gun was found. I like all these pieces of the puzzle kind of out there. I'm like, what's going to happen? Like, and Dante being torn, and on Friday going, Sonny, I got something to tell you. And they're like saying that, and Anna's saying, I love it. I love all of this. I was enjoying that they're all over the place.
For me, the most interesting part of it all is the Dante of it, because we've teased around this thing so many
Yeah.
times
Yes.
in the past year or so, where it's just like, where's the cop me and where's the son me and where do those two meet and what would I do? And so the way they kind of built this up for this, I'm like, oh, all right, that was a really easy way to get like Dex give him the information. Oh, we know it's sealed, but now Dante, what does he do? Is he a cop? Is he a son? Uh,
Yes. I like that. I
yeah.
actually, that's fine with me. And oh my God, the one part that did make me kind of wince, that PI chick with the dog. But
Uh,
it did tap into Felicia's old PI days. So they were trying something. I was like, yeah,
one, I like that it gave Felicia something to do, be a real smart
yes,
hand. But then also, as always, we get these great potential friendships developing, and that was Carly and Felicia after the whole Bobby
yes,
caper, and they went to Denmark and all that stuff. They're like, oh, why don't we spend more time together? And so I'm glad the show hasn't really taken advantage of that, but I'm glad that in this moment it was the two of them having at least a scene together.
yeah. But I agree with you on that. I like that also. It's like, okay, it's kind of fun, and they're talking about and stuff. And she went straight to Sunny and said, okay, like who do you have following? Anybody's gonna follow me? Like, it was really good. But that it's Martin who's trying to help his client. It's kind of funny. Oh, should I say Tad? What's his name? Um, but it's like I mean, it's, but the gun has been found now. So I think that's funny. The gun was, somebody had sent it in a box. So the gun is found. It wasn't Sam. Sam didn't find it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting why they played it as like a mystery of who sent that package in.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see where that comes from, but
Right.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess until we know who it is, to
Right.
see if it really justified it being such a big, secret. I had to play, the person knew where our cameras were. Couldn't, make sure they
Right.
weren't, okay.
But I haven't, it's very interesting because if Sonny gives in, it affects Carly directly. So, and like you said, Valentine is still out there. Charlotte's still out there. So it all goes back to the whole Lulu thing. It goes back. It's all. I love this big umbrella story. It's all kind of tying together. They're still out there. Like where's Charlotte? Her mother is like dying to get her. So I'm hoping to get back to all of that on some level because that's, and maybe it was Valentine who sent the box in, Devin says.
The only thing that kind of bums me on this is that the the whole John Cates Jagger of it all. I mean, I don't know. It was like they did that character no they did not service that character well in his time there. I
No.
mean, they really I mean, at the beginning, very interesting, and then they just 180'd him and just made him just a big yeah, it was like when they had Paul Hornsby on a
Yep,
while
that's
ago,
him.
and then they just
Yep,
180'd him, and then that was it.
yep.
And that's a shame because boy, it's a yes, I know he and Sonny weren't the best of pals, and they had their differences, and the Karen stuff is certainly a major point of contention between the two of them. But man, it's just wow, they just really drove that character off a cliff. And so to hear him like being vilified so much, like he deserved it, he needed to be stopped. I'm like, man, that was our boy Jagger. That was our boy Jagger. Come on,
You know, they just and oh, we also had they didn't forget about it. Shall I talk about that kiss?
man.
He's just like no. He literally said no.
Well, he said if you want to talk about it, and she's like, no. It's like I don't know why.
Basically,
Yeah, why? Oh, just like let talk about it. I mean, I know she's got the Valentine stuff that's still up in the air and unresolved, but yeah, why are we like if you're giving it that, lean into it a bit as opposed to just being standoffish about it a while, and then we got to wait for another 3 months for something else to happen.
I think they're stretching it out a little bit.
Ugh.
I think they want a few more things to happen, and then they'll be in a position again where kissing may happen again. You know how that's so bad is. You know. Terrence says, "Do you think Jagger faked his death? Something about the storyline feels weird. I don't think he faked his death. I think he did.
No, I mean that was one shot,
Shot him
maybe.
twice.
Yeah, but when he went in as he was laying down and
Yes,
fired again, like
and shot
no.
him again. Yes.
Uh,
So, yes, it's very interesting. No, I think he's dead, 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 dead. It just feels weird because they made that character like Frank said, they made a character into a complete cartoon villain, and that was it. It was like out of nowhere. It's like I don't mind an anti-hero. I don't mind somebody being caught up in their stuff,
mhm.
and that makes for interesting characters. But they made him like some villain. I mean, he was like you said, he went after Christina and Michael and Dante. Like he was not going to stop. He had, I mean, Alexis and Sonny are like, he had to be stopped. I mean, they both like,
Yeah.
can we
I mean,
stop?
he had somebody that was going to kill Ava. So,
Right,
yeah,
right.
just kill her.
I mean, that's like poor Ava. It's really just mind her own business. It was just crazy, but I just think he's just it's and the actor was great. Adam Harrington was great. I believed him as Jagger after a while. He was a great actor, and I wish him the best and other things. But he won me over on some level. But they just, like you said, they made him a cartoon villain and did no favors for him at all.
Yeah, and that's not to say that I mean, I'm not opposed to taking a beloved character and turning him to a villain, but you gotta show the steps. You can't just
Yes,
180 him and then expect me to be on board that now he's this, cartoon character that's just out to, destroy everything.
I remember this was different writing when he first came on. So DG, you're right on some level. Like that was it was different writing back then. The writing wasn't as good back then either. So they created this whole situation, and then I think the writers were like just get rid of him. I think the new writers was like we just don't need him. Like it's just too much. They got rid of him. I mean that's what new writers do. They come in and assess what characters they want to write for. They probably just figured, never mind, and that was it.
Uh, Going back to you were saying like the kiss with
Yeah.
Jason. Um, the I don't know because we have these scenes with Diane, uh, with Jason as well. And, it's like I've been teased now with the potential to move Jason beyond just the Carly and Sunny of it all. Not that he's always going to have ties to them for sure. But I was teased by the promise of him being out of the immediacy of that orbit of them. And now I just feel like we're starting to. I worry. We'll see. We'll see how it plays in the next couple of weeks that we're going to just start shuffling him back into that because I want to see something different for Jason's go around.
I think that to me, that's kind of the excitement. What will Jason do? That's kind of the excitement to me. If Sonny did go away, when he talked to us, I was like, are you going to take over? Are you not going to take over? Like I'm very curious what Jason, that's the whole point is that we're all kind of going, well, Jason's supposed to be a different Jason. He's been, but when Diane went off, I'm good for her. I'm like, good. You're mentioning like, hello, good. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Jason and Carly will always they'll be best friends at the end of time.
Mhm.
Whether they get back together or not, that's just how that goes. But I like Sunny and Jason getting along better. I like them fighting. They just seem so weird. So I like their fighting, but their relationship is different. It is different now a little bit. And so I'm really curious to see what Jason does actually. And having Anna in there, I don't mind it. I don't mind having Anna in there.
I love it because we need somebody that you could believably think that would be swayed that there is another
Yes.
path in life to take or maybe think about life differently. And I feel like Anna is like just that outside enough of all the other characters, like Liz or anybody else that could make him kind of think a little bit differently.
I don't want to forget this because I want before we have 15 minutes, but I don't want to forget this. I want to get it out there. I love it. They reminded us that Brad and Cody were friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Liked their scenes together. So, and Brad's so flirty and everything. I love it. I just thought it was such a great. It talked about Brit, about the whole thing. They both are kind of shady on some levels. Like they kind of there's no judgment there, whatever. I'm so glad they actually had them talking. And when he hugged in the Portia, the bitch, because
Ugh.
it's off on him. I'm kind of over her being mad at Brad, like whatever. But Brad saw something on Friday. I was like, oh my god! Again, pacing, I love it. It's like just go ahead and let's just do it. Because you said it last week. We see Portia have consequences. So now homegirl knows, Ava, and now Brad. I guess he knows.
Yeah, I mean that was a nice little bit that Liz did not mention to Portia that it was Brad that was doing the investigating.
I know. I
Had
know.
she known, she would have been up in that lab shutting that down
Oh
quickly.
yes. And Brad was like, "What do we have here?" I loved it. Loved it. Like that's right because I kept thinking she's gonna try to pin it on Brad. And that could still happen. I think she's thinking she's not. I think that's whatever. But I kind of like good because seeing him being put upon that's boring after a while too. That's getting on my nerves too. Like
Yeah.
Brad, I'm like okay, I'm over that too. Lucas also told Brad we're not getting back together again, which means they'll get back together at some point.
Yes.
They're two gay guys in town. They're going to get together. But I know I like that Cody and them are friends. They're showing the friendship, which I liked. But also now he has something that he can push against Portia. This makes Soapy goodness.
Yeah, for as much as Brad was like, I'm gonna be on the straight and narrow, I'm just doing my 8 hours and
Yeah,
get
I love it. I love it.
like having that Brad little smile as he's seeing like, oh,
Yep.
what have you been up to? And also top of that, Liz saying like, hey, as much as I don't want to say it, he's great. And you
Right.
can be a garbage person, but still be incredible at your job. And that's what Brad
Exactly.
is.
And then this is like he was like, "You want me?" When he Brad goes, "You want me to look over that?" I laughed so hard. He was like, "Me?" She's like, "Yes, you." Which again is like that's the audience going. It's like the audience going. He's like the audience, like, "Really, me?" That was hilarious. Loved it. And I just think again, they explained to Selena that she turned out he wasn't really good for it, whatever that. So they gave us a little again. You and I kept asking stuff like this last year. Give us a throwaway line. Give us a 2 seconds. Like they're actually doing that. They're actually explaining some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because I know we both would rather see
I
her
know.
on
I
screen than
know.
just
I
hear
know.
about her. But I
Yeah.
mean, at least it was done.
Yeah, it was done. So now we know why. So fully, he's back. We're seeing more Terry. She's there, and that I want to leave that to the whole thing with Aiden and Lucky, the whole coming out because obviously last week was coming out week, and I thought it was fine. I thought the scenes were great. I know folks were like, "Well, Jonathan Jackson's a Christian in real life, whatever. He's an actor." I mean, I don't think he puts moratoriums on what he does on his screen or his character. I thought it was a nice scene between father and son, um, and it was fine. It was realistic. It was fine.
For sure. I mean, yeah, yes. Whatever his personal feelings may be on that stuff. Character-wise, as a Spencer, I mean, growing up, I mean, Luke and Laura never passed those kind of
Nope,
judgments on anything like that. So
nope. And Lucas was always around. He's part of the family, so he's gay. So I was like, it was fine. It was a nice scene. It was totally a nice scene to have. I think it needed to be done. So it was fine.
I mean,
And
certainly with any like, yeah, well, I mean, certainly he's got like he's been sorazed, as they say, good old age,
yes,
but still. given just that image of like how old Aiden is now, and it really sells like how long that Lucky's just been gone. Lucky's just been gone.
I want to say something to that, folks, because I saw the chats outside, not here in this chat, but out in the world. That the guy who plays Aiden must be like 30 years old. He's not. He's literally like he is a young man. It's just that Jonathan Jackson looks good for his age.
Sure does.
That's what it is. I'm like, it just happens. He looked good. John Jackson, hold down.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks great.
Yeah. Both him and Liz. Great. Yeah. Rebecca
They
Hurst.
do.
Yeah.
Her porcelain skin. Thank you, David, for our super chat. Hi. Um, and yeah, her porcelain skin. She looked great for her age too. When they showed that flashback a couple weeks ago at her and them younger,
Oh,
she's smoking a cigarette. They're the same. They look the same. I mean, it's like some folks age well. I will tell you. I don't think the actor playing Aiden looks like he's 50 years old or anything. It just feels like they Soraz them, but just that homeboy, it just looks good. They,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. How are you feeling about a Lucky and Liz possible reunion?
Well, I want a Lucky Liz Rick redo. I want a triangle. That's what I want. I need a soap triangle. I see Liz has chemistry with both Lucky and Rick. I feel like Lucky is her one of her first loves. And then also, but her and Rick have something, and she knows Rick, so she's not going to be played by him or anything. That could be fun also. Like he's a father of a child. One of the loves of her life. I actually like. I would want some kind of. I would want all three. I want her to be torn. To me, way more chemistry in her and Finn. Way more chemistry than anybody else. And she has these two right here. I'm all in.
Uh, it very interested in that, but then also you give me scenes of Rick and Ava, and I'm intrigued by that.
Oh no, there's that too. No, I give. Yep, I'll give you that one too. There is something about them too. There's something there, like, and that actually age appropriate. He's kind. Sonny would be not happy about that. I could get on his nerves. Yeah, no, you're okay. I see it. Like then that's again embarrassment of riches. I love that. Then an Ava Rick. I mean, like a quadrangle or whatever. I mean, I'll take all of it.
Yeah, I mean those scenes between Rick and Ava, where Ava's like just giving her some advice on how to approach the hospital and stuff. He's like, oh, yeah, all right, okay. I don't know. I was digging. I was like, all right, let's see what would happen.
I really enjoy. Well, I enjoy more West is the Queen, so I mean, I just enjoy her anyway. But they're finally writing her better. So I think because remember they were doing any favors for her either.
Yeah.
But I feel like the new writings regime is like, okay, let's turn this around. And she is who she is. I like that she is who she is, and it's trying to write that way. Liz and Rick have chemistry with everyone, and Colin Cassidy, now new Aiden, is a solid young actor. Yeah, I like him. I think he's fine. I haven't seen him do enough, but I think he's fine. I have no problem with him. The other kid was good too. I mean, they obviously aged him for a reason, so maybe we'll see that on camera. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, and who knows when Jake comes back, if it's the same actor. And I hope it is, but
Oh, it is too. It is too. I mean, it just happens. I mean, they recast. I mean, people, especially when they're kids, they recast. So I mean, it's kind of a natural thing. But I have no problem with him. He's fine. I have no problem with him. But like Rick and Ava are a perfect match. They're a good match. Lucas says that, so he agrees with you, Frank.
yeah.
Rick and
I
Ava.
mean, and on the same token, I also like that they had that scene between Gio, uh, Trina, and Jocelyn, where it's like finally we're all like, hey, some of us might love Sunny, some of us might love Ava. We don't all necessarily have to have the same opinion, but don't let
Yes,
their crap affect our stuff.
yes, yes. Oh, I have to. Somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat. Luckily, we got like maybe another 7, 8 minutes. So Violet gets into a fight. The boy, father drunk. Ugh, boy, boring. Um, Tracy reacts and sends Diane. I mean, I don't know that all of that. I just
I don't really know what the point of that scene was. I mean, other than yes, we know that Violet misses Finn for sure. Uh, I mean, are we trying to establish that or help reinforce that Brooklyn and Chase could be good parents, and so them trying for a baby right now is a good idea? Uh, I don't know. I mean, the biggest thing is just like what does happen after, in GH time, the 90 days are up, and
Yeah.
uh, you know, does what are they going to do with Finn? Is he extending past 90 days? Is he coming back and he's, taking Violet off canvas? I don't know.
I just don't care.
Yeah, it didn't.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's like again, so it's like Natalia. It's this weird character is kind of hanging on, and there's nothing really, there's nothing, no substance to it. Um, we already know that Brooklyn and Chase are committed. They're together. We got it. Either right, Majora, either do more with her, or like Nathan says, get rid of her. Like one of the two. Like do more. I mean, I don't understand. Again, I know. I'm like, okay, that was an episode for a day. That was a couple scenes. Okay, got it.
I mean, I like you give me scenes of her like talking with Tracy and stuff like that. They're enjoyable, but and maybe GH has kind of got a soft spot for her, but they're really
Uh,
it's tough to find any kind of logical reason to have her around.
yeah. So I'm like, and you're right. What are they going to do once? Because right now it's been, I mean, because some shows episodes the days are the same. It goes a long time. So like you said, in GH is 90 days. What are they going to do? I don't
Yeah.
know. And Geo, I'm ready, and I'm with you, Luther. I'm ready for some news on Geo. Who is he? What's going on? I need something to happen with him. I don't want to see him play the violin again. I don't need to see it anymore. Let's just get him doing something. Cheese and crack. I don't watch violin playing. I'll watch the classical music or whatever. I don't need to see all that. Just let's get it going.
Yeah, and I did like Lois listening in on that and Tracy busting her. It's like, oh, your Bensonhurst is showing. Be careful.
That's right. That was hilarious. That was kind of funny. I mean, I'm over that storyline too, but I don't know. I know they're kind of still flirting with Trina and Geo, kind of.
I mean, why not? I mean, finally, we at least had, Trina, yeah, as we've talked about many times before, like grieving in real life. Yes, that is a long time and there's no easy solutions and it can come up at any time. But
Yes.
like soaps, we just gotta move on. And so I'm glad that if we got Trina going, like I'm going back to school, I'm moving on. I gotta do this. Great. Now, that's not to say we're never going to talk about Spencer again, especially when she gets into some sort of relationship. I'm sure she'll be reluctant to really want to embrace that, but just I'm happy that we're moving on to whatever the next step is with Trina. I hope it's something interesting.
John says Aiden and Gia.
Yeah, Aiden's too young for that.
I think Aiden's too young too, John. I think Aiden is supposed to be 17, right, or 16.
I think so.
I don't know how he's
Yeah,
supposed
and
to be.
so and as a college guy, I don't know. That would seem I don't know. That would seem
Yeah,
too weird.
I don't know. But there is nobody on the campus right now. They have to get somebody who's on the campus, obviously, for that. Hmm. But anyway, so I don't know. Gio is useless. Like, well, just like they haven't fleshed him out. It's just kind of they're hitting at things, but I know it's a large show, big cast, everything. They're trying to work it out. But I'm like, I'll give it a second. I'm ready for something to kind of turn. I'm ready for them to do something that's going to turn. Again, I'm enjoying the pacing right now for most of GH. I feel like they're going forward with stuff. But there's a couple of characters that kind of sitting in the back, kind of like just sitting there. So let's not just show them on screen, but let's like pull them forward.
Yeah, I don't know as we're getting wrap up. The one thing it's I much as I love my silver fox, Max Scorpio, boy, he was just on fire about Holly. I was like, he's Mac. You can dial it
Calm
down a
down.
little bit on this. Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, wow. I mean, rushing to his brother's office to tell him to stay. I mean, like, he's like, get out. I just how Tristan's like, get out. It's like, just get out. Like, I don't have time for you. And they're like, I mean, fighting over it. And I love that Felicia was like, well, I told him the opposite. I told
Yeah,
her the opposite.
yeah.
I love that. I love it. I mean, because Max said they are friends. There are friends,
Yeah.
but he's afraid his brother get hurt once again at a tornado and stuff. Like, Mac, why do you care so much? I mean, I was your brother, but like, why do you care so much? Like, you really care that much? And even like Robert's like, why do you care? Like, what's going on? Clearly, something's going to happen. Clearly, of course, clearly, of course. And they teased us with, which I don't know if it's going to happen now or whatever. Holly and Sonny.
Yeah, I mean, Lash wants to talk to him about that
I know, like, where did that come from? I was like, wow, that's kind of just like that's very interesting. I was like, okay, because Connie goes, did you hear from Holly? Yes, she was looking for you for what? I don't know. So it's like, oh, so they really. So if Sonny's to go to jail, then maybe I guess she's gonna try. I mean, I don't know, but it's like I'm curious to see them together. I don't remember them together talking. So I'm like, I kind of like these little pairings up. I'll take it. I'll take it.
And I do like how she just still doesn't really like Jack Brennan. Gets in a room with Jack Brennan and it's just like,
Oh, I
no,
love it. I
you,
love it.
which is
I love
great.
it. And Felicia don't like him. Felicia don't like him either. Felicia like I don't like him either.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it very much
Don't
seems
trust
like,
that.
in the absence of Valentine, Jack Brennan is kind of filling
Yeah.
that void. Very charismatic person who
Yes.
has gone through a bit of a rewrite, and just through sheer charisma of his performance is really kind of just exciting people to watch him, while he has had
Yes.
a questionable and dubious history that the show is just trying to kind of write its way out of.
Yes.
But there's still always going to be people that like, he's still a jerk. Still don't trust him.
Right. Well, you all know that Sidwell's coming to Port Charles, right? You know he's gonna
Oh,
come. That's why Holly's there. He's gonna come. Everybody's gonna be, and Lucky's there. Isaiah's there. Like, I think something's gonna go down later this year. He's coming. Oh, he's coming to town. Definitely. He's not dead or anything, so he's coming to town.
no, and I like the actor, so I'm in no rush for him to kill him off. You want a Jerry Jackson for a bit? I'm fine with that. Like,
Right. Right. I see. I agree with that. I think it's gonna be totally something coming down the pipe that's gonna happen. He's gonna come to town. Definitely gonna come to town. He's gonna figure it out and come to Port Charles. So I like the comedy of Robert, Holly, Sidwell, Mag, Diane. Yeah, I think it could work. I think it all could work. And but again, just to round this up, the Diane Jason conversation as we had, I kind of like that also. When it was kind of like, I love the guy too. Like I wouldn't be doing it. I mean, all the 3 o'clock in the morning calls, and I was like, it was like she does care about them. Her and she likes Jason and Carly and Sonny.
yeah,
Diane is, and she love it, but Alexis is her best friend. I love it. She was like, she's my best friend.
yeah. And especially
So
when she knows Alexis did not do it.
right.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah,
actually like that angle. Everybody knows that she didn't do it. Everybody just knows that she didn't do it.
yeah,
So it's kind of like everybody knows that Sonny did it. I even like Christina and Michael's conversation. Like it's we all know he did it. But it's like, but no one wants to see him go to jail or prison. So it's kind of like, how can we save? That's why I say I like the storyline. How can we save him and save everybody else? And everybody gets, it's so convoluted. I love it. I think it's just total soap opera.
yeah.
I'm
I
fine
feel
with
like the hardest part for me to really buy onto this is if it had been just Federal Agent X,
that.
that
Right.
was just a really cartoon villain. Yes, he had it coming to him and Sonny gave it to him. The fact that it was Jagger and they kind of, drove his character off the cliff, it makes it hard to want to to be like, oh, he deserved it. And so Sonny was in the right for doing this. I'm like, really? I don't know. So, it's hard for me to fully invest, like, yep, he had it coming. Give me a cartoon villain that I
And,
had no personal attachment. Then I would have probably been easier to be on board. Like, yep, get rid of him.
I know I'm easy. I take it. I'm taking it. It
Oh,
works for me.
look at
But
you.
I work for Frank. I'm easy, Frank. You should know that by now. 9 years. Like Sunday morning. Everybody, that's your show for today. I wish we could go longer like we usually do, but I have to take care of something family wise. But I want to thank all the 60 plus people who watched us today. We love it. We love it. You come back to check us. We won't be here next Sunday. We'll be back the following Sunday, the 27th. YNR and this show will be back, and we will be back. And we're excited to see what happens in the next 2 weeks on General Hospital. It should be a doozy. It should be a doozy. Um, I heard we might not have episodes next week. I don't know if something's going on with something, or it's going to be limited. I have no idea. So if you guys know, let me know. You like contact me. Let me know. I don't know what's going on with GH. Some about some kind of games or something. I don't
No,
know.
maybe the next round of the baseball playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's it. So I don't know for sure what's happening in terms of what we will see next week. I have no idea.
Well, it's a
So
good
just
thing
well,
we're having the week off then.
because yes, I'll be out of town with my family. Frank Moran, your emails. They want to know
Oh, let's see
where is
here.
where is Frank at this point? Is he at 400,000 yet?
Here we go.
He is at 310, 310, 311. Woo! Play those numbers, kids. Play those numbers. 310,000. That's like 310, 311. That's kind of interesting. 310, 311. Those are his numbers, kids. That is, he
Yeah.
is.
If it does hit, consider throwing a little my way.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I agree with Frank. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's. I don't know. Right now, like I said, as we end the show, I'm enjoying the show right now. Actually, faults and all, I think it's just much more watchable than it was a year ago. This time, we still do the show either way, but I am more interested in how things are going than I have before. I don't roll my eyes as much.
Ooh, that's good to hear.
Frank rolls his eyes all the time, but I don't.
Always.
Well, I don't know.
I watch it with that permanent scowl. Like,
There you go. That's the I believe you. I do. Anyway, we love you guys, folks. Everybody have a good week, and we'll see you in a few weeks here on GHB Spotlights. And